Here, the world reaches for the heavens. These are the Andes of Peru, a kingdom of rock and ice, sculpted by time itself. The mountains stand like silent titans, their peaks piercing the thin cobalt sky. Sunlight, sharp and unfiltered, catches on their jagged edges, painting them in strokes of brilliant white and deep shadow. This is a land of immense scale, a place where one feels utterly small, a fleeting visitor in a realm of giants. It is a world that has remained unchanged for millennia, governed not by mankind, but by the raw, uncompromising forces of nature. The silence here is profound, broken only by the elements. Below the highest summits, vast plateaus stretch out like immense empty stages. The air is thin, a challenge for any living thing that dares to make this place its home. Yet, life persists. Hardy grasses, colored in shades of ochre and muted green, cling to the soil, forming a sparse carpet across the immense plains. This is the Altiplano, the high plateau. It is a landscape of stark beauty, where every feature is etched with a clarity that only such pure, high-altitude light can provide. Water, a precious resource, gathers in glacial lakes of impossible turquoise, reflecting the endless sky above with perfect stillness. To stand here is to feel the very pulse of the planet. The scale is almost too much for the mind to comprehend. Valleys, carved by ancient glaciers, plunge thousands of feet, their depths lost in shadow and mist. The mountains are not merely a backdrop, they are the main characters in this epic story. They dictate the weather, shape the lives of the creatures below, and hold a silent, watchful authority over everything. Their presence is a constant, humbling reminder of nature's enduring power and its magnificent, patient artistry. It is a land of solitude and grandeur. The story of the Andes is one of survival. It is a story written in stone, in ice, and in the very DNA of the creatures that live here. Every day is a test, every season a trial. From the smallest insect to the largest predator, life is a delicate balance, a constant negotiation with the harsh realities of this vertical world. Here, beauty and brutality are two sides of the same coin. And it is in this unforgiving wilderness that we find some of the most remarkable stories of life on Earth. A place where the lords of the Andes reign supreme. The air itself seems alive here, a constant presence. The wind sweeps across the high plains with an unseen force. It is a sculptor, shaping the very rock and sand into strange, beautiful forms over countless years. It carries the scent of damp earth, of hardy mountain flora, and the biting chill of the glaciers far above. This wind is the voice of the Andes, a perpetual whisper that speaks of eternity and solitude. It murmurs through the tough ichu grass, creating a gentle, rustling sound that is the constant soundtrack to this high-altitude world. A sound of immense loneliness. This is not a gentle breeze. It can be a relentless adversary, stealing warmth from any living creature and driving snow into blinding blizzards with little warning. The animals that live here have adapted to its ceaseless pressure. The vicuña, with its dense, fine fleece, turns its back to the gale, hunkering down to conserve precious energy. Its coat, the finest in the animal kingdom, is a masterpiece of natural engineering, designed to trap air and provide insulation against the biting cold that the wind brings. Survival here means understanding and respecting this invisible power. The wind also carries stories. It lifts the scent of a predator across a valley, alerting potential prey to danger long before it can be seen. It carries the seeds of hardy plants to new territories, allowing life to find a foothold in the most inhospitable of places. In the quiet moments when the sun hangs low in the sky, the wind can feel like a gentle caress, a soft breath across the landscape. But its mood is fickle, and its power can turn in an instant, reminding all who live here of its absolute authority. To feel this wind on your skin is to connect with the raw spirit of the Andes. It is a physical reminder of the thin atmosphere, the high altitude, and the untamed nature of this place. It whistles around ancient rock formations and sings a lonely song across the vast, empty spaces. It is both a creator and a destroyer, a constant companion in this high and lonely kingdom. It is the breath of the mountains, an elemental force that defines every aspect of life in this brutal, beautiful land. In the golden light of dawn, the grasslands come alive. A herd of vicuñas emerges, moving with a grace that seems to defy the harshness of their environment. They are the true spirits of the altiplano, elegant and cautious. Their movements are fluid, almost like a choreographed dance as they spread out to graze on the tough, sparse vegetation. Each animal is alert, its large, dark eyes constantly scanning the horizon for any sign of danger. Their long, slender necks give them a look of refined elegance, a stark contrast to the rugged landscape they inhabit. Suddenly, a ripple of tension moves through the herd. Two young males face each other, their bodies poised and rigid. This is not a fight for territory, but a contest of dominance, a ritual as old as the mountains themselves. They begin to circle one another, their steps deliberate and measured. The air is thick with anticipation. The other vicuñas pause their grazing, watching the unfolding drama with a quiet intensity. It is a silent confrontation, a ballet of power where every movement is filled with meaning and intent. The sun glints off their soft, cinnamon-colored coats. The confrontation escalates. With a sudden burst of energy, they rear up on their hind legs, striking out with their front hooves. They emit sharp, piercing cries that echo across the silent plains. It is a surprisingly aggressive display from such delicate-looking creatures. They push and shove, their necks entwined, each trying to assert his strength over the other. This is a crucial test of fitness and resolve. The winner will earn higher status within the herd, and with it, better breeding opportunities. The loser must retreat, his challenge denied. After a few intense moments, it is over. One male breaks away, conceding defeat. He lowers his head in a gesture of submission before trotting away to rejoin the fringes of the herd. The victor stands tall for a moment, his dominance affirmed. The tension dissipates as quickly as it arose, and the herd resumes its peaceful grazing as if nothing has happened. This brief dramatic encounter is a vital part of life here, a dance of survival that ensures only the strongest will pass on their genes in this demanding world. High above the terrestrial drama, another Lord of the Andes holds dominion, soaring on currents of air that rise from the deep valleys. The Andean condor is a magnificent sight. With a wingspan that can exceed 3 meters, it is one of the largest flying birds in the world. It glides with an economy of effort, tilting its primary feathers to navigate the winds with masterful precision. From its vantage point, it surveys a vast kingdom, its keen eyes searching for the telltale signs of a meal. It is the ultimate scavenger, the cleanup crew of the mountains. The condor is a patient hunter. It can spend hours in the air, circling effortlessly, riding the thermal updrafts to conserve energy. Its presence is a constant, ominous shadow that drifts across the landscape below. For the animals on the ground, this shadow can be a sign of impending doom, an indication that a predator is near, or that one of their own has fallen. The condor's role is essential. By feeding on carcasses, it prevents the spread of disease and helps to maintain the health of the entire ecosystem. It is a symbol of both life and death. When a carcass is spotted, perhaps a vicuña that did not survive the night's cold or the remains of a guanaco, the condor will descend. It does not land with grace but with a clumsy thud, its huge body ill-suited for elegant landings. Other condors may join, gathering for the feast. A strict hierarchy is observed. The dominant birds, usually the older males with their distinctive white collars, will eat first. There are squabbles and displays of aggression, but serious fights are rare. They are a community, bound by the necessity of survival. Watching a condor in flight is a truly awe-inspiring experience. It embodies the wild, untamed spirit of the Andes, its ability to soar to such incredible heights, to navigate the treacherous mountain winds with such ease, is a testament to the power of adaptation. As it glides against the backdrop of colossal peaks, it appears as a lonely, majestic figure, a master of its aerial realm. This great bird is an icon of the mountains, a living link to an ancient world, and a powerful symbol of the untamed wilderness. As we climb higher, the landscape transforms once more. The grasslands give way to a world of barren rock and perpetual ice. This is the domain of the glaciers, colossal rivers of frozen water that grind slowly down the mountainsides. The air here is painfully thin and, well, bitterly cold. Life is reduced to its most resilient forms, hardy lichens that cling to the rocks in vibrant patches of orange and green, and tiny insects that have found ways to survive in this frozen desert. The silence is absolute. A heavy, profound quiet that seems to absorb all sound. The glaciers are not static. They are constantly moving, their immense weight carving and shaping the mountains. The sound of their movement is a deep, groaning rumble that can be felt through the soles of one's boots. Occasionally, a massive chunk of ice will break away from the glacier's edge, crashing into the valley below with a thunderous roar that echoes for miles. These events are a powerful reminder of the dynamic forces at play in this high-altitude realm. The glaciers are the water towers of the Andes, their seasonal melt feeding the rivers that sustain life far below. The colors in this icy world are stark and brilliant. The ice itself is not just white. In the deep crevasses, it glows with an ethereal sapphire blue. This intense color is created by the immense pressure that squeezes out all the air bubbles from the frozen water, allowing light to penetrate deep into its core. Against the dark wet rock and the piercing blue of the sky, the visual contrast is, honestly, just breathtaking. It is a landscape of minimalist beauty, where every line and color is sharp, clean, and defined by the raw power of the elements. This realm of ice and stone feels like another planet. It is a place of humbling and intimidating beauty. Standing on the edge of a glacier, one feels a profound sense of awe and vulnerability. This is nature at its most raw and powerful, a world that is completely indifferent to human presence. It is a reminder that there are still places on Earth that are truly wild, places governed by ancient rhythms and immense geological forces. It is the very heart of the Andes, a frozen kingdom of silent, majestic power. Patience is a virtue mastered by the predators of the Andes, and you know, none is more patient than the puma. This elusive big cat, also known as the mountain lion, is really the apex predator of this high-altitude world. It moves with a silent, stealthy grace, its tawny coat providing perfect camouflage against the rocky slopes and golden grasses. The puma is a solitary hunter, a ghost of the mountains, often present but rarely seen. Its existence is a life of shadows and whispers, a constant search for sustenance in an unforgiving land. The puma's strategy is one of ambush. It uses the terrain to its advantage, stalking its prey with incredible stealth. It can spend hours, even days, tracking a herd of guanacos or vicuñas, just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It moves low to the ground, its powerful muscles coiled like a spring, its eyes fixed on its target. Every sense is heightened, every movement calculated. A single mistake, a dislodged stone, or maybe a sudden gust of wind carrying its scent, could mean the difference between a successful hunt and another day of hunger. When the moment arrives, the attack is explosive and swift. With a burst of incredible speed, the puma closes the distance in just a few bounds. It aims for the neck, using its powerful jaws and sharp canines to deliver a quick, efficient kill. The struggle is brief but violent. In this brutal landscape, energy cannot be wasted on prolonged chases. The hunt is a high-stakes gamble. Success provides the energy needed to survive, while failure brings the puma one step closer to starvation. It is, honestly, the harsh reality of life at the top of the food chain. After a successful hunt, the puma will often drag its kill to a secluded spot, away from the prying eyes of scavengers like the condor. It will feed, and then may cover the remains with earth and scree, returning to it over several days. In this way, a single large kill can sustain the cat for a week or more. The puma is a symbol of the wild, untamed spirit of the Andes. Its silent, solitary existence speaks of resilience, power, and a deep instinctual understanding of this magnificent and brutal mountain kingdom. It is, without a doubt, a true lord of the Andes. Larger and more robust than their delicate cousins, the vicuñas, are the guanacos. They are the other great camelids of the high Andes, stalwart guardians of the grasslands. With their shaggy reddish-brown coats and calm, watchful demeanor, they are perfectly adapted to life in this challenging environment. They travel in family groups, led by a dominant male who keeps a vigilant watch for danger from a high vantage point. His sharp barking alarm call will alert the group to the presence of a puma, sending them galloping to safety across the open plains. Guanaco herds are a fundamental part of the Andean ecosystem. As they graze, they help to maintain the health of the grasslands, preventing any single plant species from becoming too dominant. Their grazing patterns create a mosaic of different vegetation heights, which in turn supports a variety of other smaller animals and insects. They are a keystone species, their presence shaping the very fabric of the landscape they inhabit. Their lives are a constant rhythm of grazing, watching, and moving, a cycle dictated by the seasons and the ever-present threat of predation. Like the vicuñas, young male guanacos must engage in dramatic battles for dominance and the right to lead a family group. These confrontations are even more intense. The males will chase each other at high speed, bite, and even spit a foul-smelling mix of stomach contents to deter their rivals. They will also engage in fierce neck-wrestling contests, their long necks tangling as they push and shove with surprising force. These rituals are not just about aggression. They are a critical test of strength and endurance, ensuring that only the fittest and most resilient males will lead the next generation. The guanaco represents the sturdiness and endurance required to survive in the Andes. They are less flighty than vicuñas, often standing their ground and observing intruders with a curious and confident gaze. They are the steady, resilient heart of the altiplano, a constant and reassuring presence in a landscape of extremes. Watching a herd move gracefully across the vast plains, with the colossal peaks of the Andes as their backdrop, is to witness a scene of timeless, natural harmony. They are true guardians of these high grasslands. From the melting glaciers and the high mountain springs, water begins its long journey downwards. At first it is just a trickle, a small stream of icy water weaving its way through the rocks, but as it descends, it is joined by other streams, growing in volume and power. It carves deep gorges and valleys into the landscape, its relentless energy shaping the very bones of the mountains. This is the birth of a river, the lifeblood of the Andes. It brings with it the promise of life, transforming the arid slopes into pockets of lush, green fertility. As the river descends to lower altitudes, the landscape changes dramatically. The barren rock gives way to terraced slopes where hardy crops can be grown. The air becomes thicker and warmer. Along the riverbanks, a new community of life appears. Kingfishers, flashes of iridescent blue, dive for small fish in the clearer pools. Torrent ducks, masters of the rapids, navigate the churning white water with incredible skill, feeding on larvae that cling to the submerged rocks. The river creates a corridor of abundance, a stark contrast to the sparse world of the high peaks. The river is a source of constant change. In the dry season, it may shrink to a gentle flow, its waters clear and calm. But during the rainy season, it can transform into a raging torrent, a destructive force that tears at its banks and carries away everything in its path. Its color changes to a muddy brown, thick with sediment washed down from the mountains. The animals that depend on the river must adapt to these dramatic shifts. It is a dynamic and unpredictable force, a provider of life, but also a powerful agent of destruction. This journey of water, from the frozen peaks to the fertile valleys, is the story of the Andes in microcosm. It is a story of transformation, of power, and of the interconnectedness of all living things. The river links the highest, most inhospitable realms with the lower, more fertile lands. It carries the nutrients from the mountains down to the valleys, sustaining a complex web of life along its entire course. It is a powerful symbol of the constant flow of energy and life that pulses through this magnificent mountain range. As dusk settles over the Andes, the mountains are bathed in a soft, ethereal light. The peaks glow with shades of pink and orange, a final spectacular display before the cold of night descends. A profound stillness settles over the landscape. The wind softens to a whisper, and the world seems to hold its breath. This is a time of transition, a moment of quiet reflection at the close of another day of survival. In the gathering shadows, the lords of the Andes prepare for the night. The vicuñas huddle together for warmth, and the puma begins its silent nocturnal patrol. This world of rock, ice, and sky is a testament to the enduring power of nature. It is a place that challenges life at every turn, yet it is filled with creatures of remarkable beauty and resilience. From the majestic condor soaring in the heavens to the patient puma stalking in the shadows, each animal has carved out its existence in this vertical world. They are the true masters of this domain, their lives intricately woven into the fabric of the mountains. Their stories are ones of struggle, adaptation, and ultimate triumph. To witness this world is to be humbled. It is to understand that we are merely visitors in a kingdom that has existed for eons and will continue long after we are gone. The scale, the silence, and the raw beauty of the Andes leave an indelible mark on the soul. It is a place that commands respect and inspires awe. It reminds us of the fragility of our own existence and the incredible strength of the natural world. The lessons of the Andes are written not in books, but in the wind, the rock, and the eyes of its wild inhabitants. The lords of the Andes will continue their reign, their lives governed by the ancient rhythms of the sun, the seasons, and the mountains themselves. Their kingdom is a place of stark contrasts, of breathtaking beauty and brutal hardship, of profound silence and sudden violence. It is a world in perfect, delicate balance, and as the last light fades and the stars begin to appear in the clear, dark sky, the great silent theater of the Andes stands ready for another dawn, and another chapter in its timeless, epic story.